Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, let me give all praise, Most High Yahweh, acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledge Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High bless this lesson this evening, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past and ordinance events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Why is it so important that we vote in this election? Why is it so important for Kamala and Donald to try to get us so-called black people to vote? Now, the fact that you're still calling me black is one huge reason why we should not be voting for you. See, you're trying to get us to vote against the promises that the Most High has made for us. See, we are all that matters at this point. And this is why they need us to forego our blessings and accept the curses that they've put on us. We are not black. We are not African American. We are not nothing. We are not void of color. We are not zombies. We are not stuck between two continents. We are not lost at sea. That worked while we were under the curses and you were under the blessings. But see, now we are under the blessings and you are under the cursing, and you need us to pretty much vote ourselves back into the curses. And you need us to vote you as our leaders and vote you as the ones that have the blessing. That is the only reason that would make any sense as to why you would need to come and pander to a population that is supposedly only 13% of the population here. It makes no sense because, to you, we don't even matter. To you, we are nothing but a color. To you, we don't have a history. To you, we are nothing. We are less than nothing. We are 3/5 of a man. But for some reason, with us being nothing and 3/5 of a man and monkeys and apes and stupid and we can't do anything without you, you seem to really be pandering to us quite hard for your vote, for our vote. Because you need us to vote you into positions of power on our lands. And not even all of us. See, you need the specific ones that have been awakened to forego or to, walk away from our blessing and continue with the curses. But see, this is why you call us all these different names, all these different bywords, and you need us now. At this point, you need us to agree to that. I'm not black. So if I'm not black and I'm not African American, you need me at this point to accept what byword you're calling me. And I do not accept being called a black man or an African American, because that is not what I am. I am the son of the living power. We are not all sons or daughters of the Most High. So you need us way more than we need you. We don't need you for anything. You can't teach us anything. You can't teach us anything about the spirit world. You can't teach us anything about history. You can't teach us anything about our book. So I don't need you for anything. You don't see us going to your door asking you to accept us anymore, because your acceptance is not necessary for absolutely anything. You have been exposed by our mother. You have been exposed by the Holy Spirit as being nothing, having no knowledge. You are black. You are the ones that are really lost at sea because you don't have a history. You don't have a land. You don't have the Holy Spirit. And you do not have our power. So you would be the one that's like non-existent at this point. The Most High has turned his face back to us. So that's all that we need. And now you need us to vote you in power because your power is gone. Your power is lost. That is why you do nothing but fake events. You know, I thought I heard Paul from Off Grid talking about how Israel was going to attack and pretty much be destroying Beirut or Lebanon or whatever the hell they're supposed to be doing within like a few hours. And what again? Crickets. They supposedly assassinated someone, right? And that Iran's going to, definitely not going to let this stand. Nothing but crickets. Ukraine's doing this, Russia's doing that. That falls off the map. Crickets. So see, all you guys are doing is trying to manipulate events with the 2/3 that are already with you in Psalms 83 in order to try to paint us in a negative light. Just like that whole interview with Trump. Again, talking about how there's certain candor and there's certain protocols that you're supposed to, greet the president. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to kind of lead your way into these more difficult questions, and they didn't do that. They just went straight into the questions and whatever else. And that's all a setup. You don't think these reporters already know how they're supposed to do it? Look, how many times have we watched politics and, they would be interviewing a president like President Bush or President Obama or Trump from the first term, and they would be getting caught straight in lies. They would be lying about absolutely everything, right? And they would never ask difficult questions. They never ask them difficult questions. So all of a sudden, they got Trump in this interview today or yesterday, whenever it was, and they just started straight in with the questions, straight in with the difficult questions. So it's funny how all these years, remember Bush when he was in office, he got caught. Him and Dick Cheney got caught in all these different lies, and no one ever asked them difficult questions because they all know they're all on the same team. So they know never to ask these questions, never to ask these certain types of questions. They give them lists of questions they're going to ask before they get there, right? So the fact that they did that was, again, they did that today or yesterday in that interview with Trump was, again, to paint us in a negative light. Everything they do is scripted. That woman did not go out there on her own and ask those difficult questions right from jump. And then they also made it so that, they started 30 minutes late. So again, trying to make us seem as if we're unprofessional. We're not on time. We're wasting the president's time. Things like that. He's doing us a favor by coming and even talking to us, and we should be just so happy that he gave us the time of day. Again, all scripted, so that he can again show us as being on nigga time. We're always late for everything. We're not to be taken seriously. They don't even have correct protocol. They don't even, address me and, they treat me a certain way. All this stuff is all scripted to make us look bad. But ultimately, my guy, it's making you look bad, right? We don't need you for anything. The 2/3 might need you because they're just playing their part. That's all that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They know how to act. They know they trust me. They've done plenty of interviews. They know exactly how the game goes. But they were told to do it this way in order to make black people look a certain way, which is okay. No problem. You can make us look however you want. You've been doing this entire time. You've been trying to paint us in negative lights this whole time. It won't work anymore, right? We're going to paint you in a negative light. Let's talk about your history. Have you been, going around and just being so polite, and above board and so loving over your history? Of course not. Who's been worse than you guys? You guys don't even respect. We're 3/5 of a man, according to you. We're black, nothing but a color, according to you. We're nothing but slaves, according to you. We don't have souls, according to you. But you have the nerve to sit here and act as if, oh, they didn't treat the president the right way, and the way they were talking to him, and this and that. Which, yeah, man. Again, you're trying to project your shortcomings on us as a whole race, and it won't work. That happened with Trump. The stuff that would happen with Kamala was the same thing. You pick ratchet people to go out here and twerk and rap, Quavo, Megan Thee Stallion, and we want to project that as black culture. Why is that? Why do we think that Megan Thee Stallion and Quavo is black culture? Because you've told us that we don't have a history. You've told us that our history is Juneteenth. Our history revolves around slavery. These are the things that you have projected on us. These are things that you have. So that's not even our culture. That's what you told us our culture is. And then you just reinforce it with putting Kamala up here and saying she's black all of a sudden. Right? And then you put out rappers and say that that's black culture. And that's going to get the vote of the black people. See, that'll get the vote of the 2/3. Because the 2/3 don't matter. The 2/3 the Most High is not listening to. The 2/3 the Most High hasn't called. That's why they're still with you. They're with you because the Most High has not called them. The Most High has chosen his people. He has awakened his people, and he has called his people back to you. Those are the votes you're looking for. Those are the votes that you need in order for you to be able to stay in power. That's what you're not telling the world. So you're trying to project us a certain way, so the rest of the world sees us a certain way. But it doesn't matter, because whatever you try to project on us goes back to you 1,000,000 times over. So trying to act as if somehow we, are unprofessional, shit, that's you. Trying to make us seem as if, we're wasting people's time, that damn sure is you. You guys waste our time all the time. We bring out all this information and you say nothing. You don't defend your history or whatever else. So you're the one that's wasting precious time. But see, let me show you why they need your vote. See, they all know that these lands are ours. They all know that the Most High is turning his face back to us. They all know that we are next in line. They all know, all these higher-ups know that the blessings have come back to our people. And the only way that they can stay on these lands, stay in power, is if we renounce our blessing and give it to them. Just like Esau did. Esau walked away from his blessing and gave it to Jacob for some red soup. They're trying to get us to do the same thing. They're trying to have us give up our blessing back to them through these votes, through this election. And it won't happen. It would have worked if the Holy Spirit had to come and awakened us, and we thought that the only way that we're going to go forward is by picking either a Democrat or a Republican. We know that neither of those people, neither of those groups are for our people. So why would I vote for a institution and a people that is not for me? You've already said that you're not going to give any reparations to our people. You've already said that we don't deserve anything. You always have the same thing that happened a long time ago, right? Everything else, and that we are the problem. No problem. So just like Esau gave up his blessing to Jacob for some soup, they're trying to get us to give up our blessing by voting them in, right? And walking away from the blessing the Most High has promised us. So long. That's why they wanted us to never know that we were the Israelites. They always wanted us to be part of these churches. And see, the 2/3 are all part of your churches. The 2/3 still believe that you are in charge, and that you are the ones that's going to lead us into a greater days in the future. And we all know that that is not the case whatsoever. The true leaders now are the Most High's people, not you. We are the ones providing the world with wise counsel, not you. But let's look real quick as to why you need our votes, why you need our approval now. I'm going to jump into the Sefer real fast. We're going to jump into the book of Jasher. Chapter 35. This is after Dinah was raped by Shechem and the Hamites, and the Israelites have just been destroying the Hamites. And now it's come to the point where this final battle is coming, and all these hundreds of thousands of soldiers have come to fight against the Israelites. There was like the 12 brothers, the dad, and then some of their own people that have, joined on with them, their servants, maybe like 100 of them have shown up to fight. So it's like 100 against hundreds of thousands. So chapter 35. And all the kings of the Emirim came and took their stand in the field to consult with their counselors what was to be done with the sons of Jacob, or Jacob right here. For they were still afraid of them. The other nations were afraid. See, this is what your people don't tell you. They're afraid of the true Israelites because they already know how this is going to go down. And the only way that they can get us to fall back in line is for us to voluntarily do so. When the Most High turns his face back to us, it's a wrap for everyone else. Okay? So, for they were afraid of them, saying, Behold, 2 of them slew the whole of the city of Shechem. And Yahweh heard the prayers of Yitzchak and Yaakov. And he filled the hearts of all these kings' advisors with great fear and terror, that they unanimously exclaimed, Are you silly this day? Or is there no understanding in you, that you will fight with the Hebrews? And why will you take a delight in your own destruction this day? See, when the Most High turns his face back to us, them going against us just is ensured destruction for anyone that goes against us. So look, this is why they have to have you vote. This is why it's so important for them to try to get you to vote, because they want you to give up your blessing. Surely you know that their Elohim is exceedingly fond of them, and has done mighty things for them, such as have not been done from days of old. And amongst all the Elohim of the nations, there is none, there is none can do like unto his mighty deeds. They all know this. See, all your higher ups, they all know this. This is just you guys at the lower levels who don't understand what's going on. This is why supposedly this small group of people is so important. Like, you don't see them rallying, like they said, you don't see them rallying to Eastern Indians. You don't see them trying to rally to Asians. You don't see them really trying to rally that much to Latinos, right? They're rallying to so-called black people. Why is that? Doesn't make any sense. If we're just such an insignificant population, and that we know that no one cares about us, and and we're nothing, then why in the hell are y'all trying to talk to us? Why don't y'all just keep it moving and talk to all the other groups? There must be something really special about this particular group of people that they really need them to vote. And so you're going to find out. Surely he delivered their father. He's giving a little historical breakdown. Abraham, the Hebrew, from the hand of Nimrod, and from the hand of all his people, who had many times sought to slay him. He delivered him also from the fire in which King Nimrod had cast him. And his Elohim delivered him from it. And who else can do the like? Surely it was Abraham who slew the 5 kings of Elam, when they had touched his brother's son, who in those days dwelt in Sodom, and took his servant that was faithful in his house, and a few of his men, and they pursued the kings of Elam in one night and killed them. So see, the people who were joined to us got empowered as well. And restored to his brother's son all his property, which they had taken from him. And surely you know the Elohim, okay, of these Hebrews is much delighted with them, and they are also delighted with him. For they know that he delivered them from all their enemies. And we delight in our Father because we know that he's going to deliver us from all of our enemies. That's why they're trying to get us to roundabout in a sneakily way walk away from our blessing. Just like they try to say that Jacob was a usurper by stealing Esau's birthright. They're trying to be sneaky by trying to get us to give them our birthright as well. You see, this is why you got to understand like these other books and this other information. Then you understand why it's so important for them to try to get us to vote, because they need us to give up our blessing. And behold, and see, and this is why you got Kamala here now, a woman of color. I mean, like we said, that women of color, whatever else, people of color are not Israelites. The whole world was people with dark brown skin. Of course, we have everything from dark to light and everything else. So there was plenty of other people. Abraham had many other children that were not of the promise. So they're Abraham's seed, but they're not of the promise. And this is, we're dealing with the ones that have the promise, the ones that have made the covenant, right? 11 here. And behold, through his love toward his Elohim, Abraham took his only and precious son and intended to bring him up as a burnt offering to his power. And had it not been for Elohim, who prevented him from doing this, he would then have done it through his love to his Elohim. And Elohim saw all his work and swore unto him and promised him that he would deliver his sons and all his seed from every trouble that would befall them, because he had done this thing, and through his love to his Elohim, okay, let's see, stiff-led his compassion for his child. So this is a promise that was made to our people, and it's being fulfilled right now. They know this. They don't understand that they can't do anything about it, except trying to trick you into voting for them. Right? That's all they can do now. Like they try to say that that's what Jacob did to Esau. They're trying to do the same thing. They're trying to trick you into voting them into power. And have you not heard what their Elohim did to Pharaoh, king of Mizraim, and to Abimelech, king of Gerar, through taking Abraham's woman, who said of her, she is my sister, lest they might slay him on account of her, and think of taking her for a woman. And Elohim did unto them and their people all that you heard of. See, the Most High he punished the Pharaoh and the Pharaoh's people for what they did to Abraham. What do you think is about to happen to you? All they did was just take one woman. Didn't even do anything to her. He just wanted to marry her, and they got smoked. Think of all the things you've been doing to the Most High's chosen people. So you just imagine, and it's not just a Pharaoh. It won't be just their president. It'll also be all the people underneath, worldwide. And behold, we ourselves saw with our eyes that Esau, the brother of Jacob, came to him with 400 men, with the intention of slaying him. For he called to mind that he had taken away from him his father's blessing. Right there, same thing. He thought that he stole the blessing, but the blessing was intended for us the entire time. And he gave it away. And he went to meet him. And he came from Aram to smite the mother with the children. And who delivered him from his hands, but his Elohim, okay, in whom he trusted. He delivered him from the hand of his brother, and also from the hands of his enemies. And surely he again will protect them. That's what's going on right now. Our Father is going to protect us. And there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it, because we've gone through our punishment, and we have now been called back by our Father. Okay? Who does not know that it was their Elohim who inspired them with strength to do to the town of Shechem the evil which you heard of? Could it then be with their own strength that two men could destroy such a large city as Shechem, had it not been of their Elohim, okay, in whom they trusted? He said and did unto them all this to slay the inhabitants of the city okay, and of the city and their city? And can you then prevail over them who have come forth together from your city to fight with the whole of them, even if 1,000 times as many more should come to your assistance? Surely you know and understand that you do not come to fight with them, but you come to war with their Elohim, who made choice of them. And you have therefore come, or you therefore all come this day to be destroyed. Now therefore refrain from this evil, which you are endeavoring to bring upon yourselves, and it will be better for you not to go to battle with them, although they are but few in number, because their Elohim is with them. Okay, even though we're few in number, and it's not all. That's the whole thing. That's why they're always trying to make it sound like it's all black people. It's all this. Or it doesn't. It's who the Most High has chosen, and you can tell that by who has been awakened. Even though we're few in number, as you guys might think, you guys know that if you try to step to us, that you're going to be destroyed. So the only thing you can do now is try to be sneaky and try to get us to vote our blessings over to you. And it's not going to happen. The true people of the Most High have been awakened. We see you. The spirits come to us and they enlighten us of your plans, enlighten us on what you're doing. Right? So there's nothing that's going to be hidden that you're going to be able to do. So just understand what's going on. The votes are trying to get, they have not promised us anything. They haven't done anything for us. So why would we go out and vote against our own best interest? My vote is with the Most High. My vote is with the Holy Spirit. My vote is with my angels. And my vote is with my ancestors. You other nations have proven that you have no good intentions whatsoever for our people. All you're trying to do is get us to vote for you to stay in power and stay over us and continue to exploit us for your own gain. And those days are absolutely over. You can have the 2/3. We don't need them, and the Most High damn sure doesn't need them. That's why he hasn't awoken them. He hasn't woke them up, because those, hey, they're yours. Enjoy. They have been here enjoying, your society, and they're still here enjoying your society, and that's why they're fighting tooth and nail to keep it going. But it going is not going to continue much longer. All praise is Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledge Yahweh Shai. Shalom.